Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Voris. There's an interesting understanding, or lack of understanding, among many people when it comes to Jews and Catholics. What many people fail to recognize is what exactly is meant by the term Jew. It can be spoken of in two ways. First, as an ethnic group which has absolutely no reference to religion whatsoever. That's how there can be such a person as an atheist Jew. The word atheist here is an adjective describing someone in an ethnic group, not a religion, much like an atheist Spaniard or an atheist Greek. To hate someone or hold them in extreme disregard because they are a Jew, in this understanding of the word Jew, is anti-Semitic. You hate them for their race, not their religion. The other way in which the word Jew can be understood is as a religion, obviously. So just as you can have an atheist Jew who was born into the race, you can also have a faithful Jew who is a convert. The point is, the race and the religion are not necessarily related, although in many individual circumstances they are. Now, when we start looking at the Jewish faith, something pops out right away. After the destruction of the temple in 70 AD by the Roman general Titus and his 10th legion, the Jewish faith ceased being what it had been up to that point. The major hallmarks of Judaism prior to the destruction of the temple, the religion, remember we're talking about here, had been that they had a temple and offered sacrifice. The entire religion was focused on this one singular point. They also had a king and land which helped them form into a religious nation. Once, however, the Romans were done with their work, the Jews, as the religion of the covenant, no longer existed. Gone was the temple sacrifice, and the Jewish priesthood. These were the hallmarks, the essential, non-debatable aspects of being a religious Jew. No temple, no sacrifice, no priesthood, no Judaism. What replaced it in history is what has come down to us today, rabbinical Judaism. This is not the Judaism of the covenant. It is a man-made religion. But what about the covenant God made with Abraham? Did that covenant cease to be? Did God retreat from his promise to Abraham? Not at all. This Sunday was the Feast of the Assumption. The gospel reading is that beautiful portion of Luke's gospel where our Blessed Mother, a young Jewish girl, cries out that God has remembered his promise of mercy, the promise he made to our fathers, to Abraham and his children forever. Catholics often fail to grasp the depth of this. The promise of the covenant is fulfilled in the Catholic Church. We are the continuation of Israel. There is an unbroken line from Abraham to us. The first members of the church were virtually all Jewish, religious Jews. They went to the temple daily, prayed the prayers of the covenant, etc. But the worship was now made complete in the sacrifice of the Mass, the Holy Eucharist. This is why nothing was lost in the sense of the covenant when Jerusalem was destroyed. It's not so much that the covenant was switched to a new group, it's much more the case that only a few former members of the covenant stayed faithful. The vast majority rejected the covenant, as is highlighted when their leaders scream out, "We have no king but Caesar." The covenant was continued in the few Jews who remained faithful to it by recognizing the Messiah. Then God added to their number a multiplicity of Gentiles. The covenant was never abandoned by God. It was abandoned by the overwhelming number of people called to it. And it is continued today in the Catholic Church. We have a priesthood, the sacrifice, the temple, and that is because Judaism is built on waiting for a Messiah who will come to institute his reign. That happened 2,000 years ago. The Jews who accepted him became the church. The Jews who rejected him, having voted themselves out of the covenant, went off and started a man-made religion. Rabbinical Judaism, today's Jewish religion, is to authentic Judaism what Protestantism is to Catholicism. Looks a lot like it sometimes, but at its core, it's very different. I'm Michael Voris.
Please help us keep delivering these kinds of messages that so desperately need to be heard and acted on. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber. Become immersed in the faith established by Jesus Christ. The Catholic Church is the only hope against evil because that is its God-given mission. As our Lord said, apart from me, you can do nothing. Join RealCatholicTV.com today as a premium subscriber and come to learn and love Christ more deeply.